Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Rick here on Friday night, 28 April. So this is going to be a fun video, something different that I've done. And this is not for those soft-feeling people that want to get offended by everything. This is a parody on, I think, of 5 of the worst songs ever written. Now, as a musician, you know that I've played a lot of different types of music, and I have respect and like a lot of different types of genres, from old standards, classical, jazz, some country. I'm not a huge country fan, but I like traditional country music and music throughout the 80s and rock ballads and stuff like that, even some of the music now. But like everything else, I think there's some songs that were not very well written. And as you know, as a musician, if you're a musician, you know that a lot of songs that become popular, it's not necessarily because they're good songs. They have a certain style. They're marketed correct, especially nowadays when you have all American Idol. It's image. There's a lot of different ways. You make money with music. But there's a lot of great music out there that I respect. And I'll have a video of my top 5 best songs I believe in. But this is my top 5 worst. I just chose, just thinking through the years. And first of all, I want to put a disclaimer that all these musicians and all these songs made it popular. I didn't. So they have that over me, and I'll be the first to admit that. But with that said, I have a right to critique like everybody else. And this is meant to be a parody, a little bit of comedy. Please don't take it seriously, get offended. And if you do, that's your problem, not mine, because I don't care. So with that said, there are different reasons why. Some it's the artist, some it's a combination. The lyrics I don't like. I don't think the music's very good. But I'll explain why from a musician standpoint. And 3 from the 60s, 1 from the 70s, and 1 from the 80s. It could have been from a lot of different genres. These are the ones off the top of my head. The first song comes from an excellent singer. Her name was Edie Gourmet, an excellent singer, very pretty lady, Spanish lady, had a lot of hits. She was a very good singer. She was during that crooner era. She had equivalent voice of like Ella Fitzgerald and Doris Day and some of those great old singers. She was very good. She was married to Steve Lawrence, who was also a good singer in his day, and they had a Steve Lawrence show in the 60s, and a typical show of the time they bring on. It was like innocent fun back then. They bring on artists and different celebrities and things, and, you know, a variety show, that type of stuff. Unfortunately, one of her mainstay songs, one of her most popular songs, I think was her worst, and I'm going to say why. And it's primarily because of lyrics. I'm big on lyrics having some meaning. It was called Blame It on the Bossa Nova. Now, the song itself is a bossa nova, whatever. It's a dance beat. It's a very simply based song. It's like a 3-chord goat rope song. It's not well written. It's very simply written. But that doesn't bother me per se, and she sings it fine enough. It's the lyrics. It was written in 1962, in December of 62, it was put out. It's the lyrics. Oh my goodness, every time I hear these lyrics, I'm going to read you like some of the lyrics. I was at a dance when he caught my eye, standing all alone, looking sad and shy. We began to dance, swaying to and fro, and soon I knew I'd never let him go. Well, at least it rhymes. Blame it on the bossa nova, with its magic spell. Blame it on the bossa nova that he did so well. What's it? The clown? From It, the movie? Oh, it all began with one little dance. Oh, it's ended up in a big romance. Blame it on the bossa nova, the dance of love. And here's the chorus. Was it the moon? No, it was the bossa nova. Or the stars above? No, it was the bossa nova. Oh my goodness, I'm going to stop it there. Terrible lyrics. Just terrible lyrics. You could have had a bubblegum rap or a bazooka bubblegum rap with better lyrics than this. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like the song. It's just so sappy. And there's a lot of songs. It's amazing because that era had a lot of music with very good lyrics. That ain't one of them. And for a woman who sang a lot of good songs, this is like a signature song. It was not a good one from her, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. The next one. Here we go. The 60s had an era called, that a lot of people coined drug-induced noise, D-I-N. No, I'm not making it up. That's actually, it's not a slang, drug-induced noise, to coin some of the music. I was never a fan of that. I wasn't a big era, although there's some great Deep Purple came out, Pink Floyd, some great musicians, don't get me wrong. But the actual sound of the late 60s music wasn't my style, so I'm a little biased in that. But this one particular song, and I shouldn't really cut down the band, because they didn't write it, Cream, which of course had Eric Clapton in it, who was I'm not a big Clapton fan, never really was, but he is talented and he's made a name for himself. This particular song they covered, so I can't say they wrote it. I've only heard it from them. And I remember years ago at my work listening to this, and I was like, I thought I was listening to a broken record. The song is called I'm So Glad. It starts out, and then it says, I'm so glad, I'm glad, I'm glad. It says like 50 times, I'm so glad, I'm glad. Who the hell used the word glad? Use happy, joyful, glad. Unless you're, and that, they definitely were, that era definitely. I'm so glad. It's like they wrote the song, the first, like, 20 seconds of the song and forgot what to say for lyrics. Maybe because they were too doped up. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Just keeps doing it over and over. And I was like, I remember listening to this. I'm like, I'm going to go nuts listening to this stuff. Oh, I'm so glad. It's terrible. The song just stinks, in my opinion, always. But that's just my opinion. The lyrics are just, there are no lyrics. It's just repetitive. Like they forgot what to do when they were writing the song. So that's number 2. 1966, by the way. Number 3, same era, but a folk singer now this, in this case, Bob Dylan. I honestly believe as a musician, Bob Dylan is the world's worst singer ever. My cat, having constipation, wanting his treats in the middle of the night, has a better range than Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan is a terrible singer. I don't care if you like him or not. The guy is not a good singer. He sounds nasal. He sounds annoying. He was never a good singer. Now, people like him. He's a poet, whatever. When you smoke enough dope, do enough dope, you can be a lot of things. And believe me, that guy was high a lot. But Bob Dylan, this is one song that just gets me. Everybody must get stoned. Oh, my goodness. Well, he was. Everybody must get stoned. In this 1966, the thing about this song is that he's laughing when he's singing it, quote unquote singing it. He's laughing through it. Maybe because he doesn't take it seriously. Maybe because he's wired out in some sort of narcotic. He's laughing. And in the background sounds like a circus clown. I'm not kidding. It sounds like something out of a circus. The instrumental in the back. It's got to be one of the most ridiculous. It's comical, the song. I remember when listening to it the first time, I was laughing because I'm like, this was popular? But then again, you have to understand the comps of the times. It was a very rebellious time. Very weird, but I'm just not a big Bob Dylan fan. Maybe I'm getting skewed from that. Of the 3 that I've mentioned, I just don't like Bob Dylan. I don't think he was a very good singer. I don't think at all. I'm going to say it as a fact. I think he was a terrible singer. He may have been a poet and this and that, whatever, but singing, I'm sorry, wasn't there. The 4th one, 1974. This was a huge hit, a one-hit wonder. Some people remember it. If you're older, some people won't, because 70s had some, 70s. The reason I don't like this song is a combination of things. The way it's sung, and especially the lyrics. Another one with terrible lyrics. I'm going to read you some of the lyrics. 1974, Morris Alpert, song called Feelings. My dad actually liked this song, and that's strange, because my dad had a good taste in music, and I can't believe he actually liked this one. I don't know if he would after a while, but... So anyways, this is like the only thing you ever heard from this guy, thank God, because if they were all like this. This song has lyrics that should have been with boy bands in the 90s. That sappy stuff, Boys to Men, New Kids in the Block, All for One, and all that shit that came out in the 90s. That was all fabricated stuff to make money. And they all had sappy lyrics. This guy was ahead of his time, so to speak. These lyrics should have been boy band lyrics. First of all, the song Feelings, it's an average song. I can't say the song stinks. It's an average song, but it's sung like the dude's crying, like he's like in some sort of pain or stress or something, which I can never like. Sing like a man, not like a wimp. And that's what he sings like. Oh, no. Second of all, the lyrics. Let me read you the lyrics of this nonsense. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Trying to forget my feelings of love. Teardrops rolling down my face. Trying to forget my feelings of love. Feelings. For all my life I feel it. How many times does he say the word feelings in this? I wish I'd never met you, girl. You'll never come again. Maybe that's a good thing. Feelings. Whoa, feelings. Are you kidding me? The 70s were filled with so many good lyrics. Singers and songwriters. Jim Croce. Gordon Lightfoot. Bread. What is this nonsense? It's sappy garbage that came out during a time where all these people were making great stuff. Absolute nonsense. That's probably why he was a one-hit wonder. But anyways, that's number 4. Number 5, the crowning achievement. 1983, when I was 18 years old. I heard this and I never had it. This was on MTV, this one. This is a band that really didn't do much, but hey, somehow this got on MTV and it wasn't super popular, but it made MTV. So that means it had some popularity. Romeo Void. What the hell kind of name is that for an 80s band? I mean, Night Ranger's cool. Journey, Foreigner. Romeo Void. Well, I'm going to explain what I think that means in the context of this song. This was probably one of their more popular songs. They didn't have a lot. They didn't last very long. This, I think, at least popular. I think I've heard they've been playing out, believe it or not. Anyways, the video, if you got to see this video, because it's very comical. And it fits this song. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's funny. The song is called Never Say Never. But that's not the catch line. Never Say Never is not said much in the song. That's the name of the song. The catch line, which is said over and over, is, get ready for this, I might like you better if we slept together. That's what it says, which in itself is comical. It really is, if you think about it. I don't know if they meant it to be comical. And she said, it's a singer, the lead singer is a female, which I have nothing against, except that she sucks, but that's another, I'll explain that. So the video was probably made with no budget. They're in like a back alley and somebody starts spray painting, I think it's one of the band members, Romeo Void, for whatever reason, on the wall. And then they start playing. It starts out with a pretty good jumpy beat, drums beat. But then it never changes. It's like 2 chords in the song. It just never changes. It's like they wrote the song in 10 seconds. It's just the same thing, over and over. And then you see the singer. It's a female, and it's comical. The whole video is comical. She's bouncing around, looks like she's high. She's bouncing around, wearing some formal attire with hair that looks like she hasn't washed it in 2 weeks, and I'm not kidding. And she's over there. You know, the 80s like to have echo on, the reverb and a little bit of like echo was a big thing on singing. Except this is well overdone. It sounds like she's in a canyon or something. Every time she says a word, it echoes so much that by the time she says the next word, you're hearing the first word. It's terribly mixed. He's over there. I might look you better if we slept together. Not in this life, honey. It ain't gonna happen. And she's just, it's just comical. There's a saxophone in the middle of the song, which, I love saxophone, but it doesn't make any sense in the song. It's just, the song is like a conglomeration of shit. Just a couple bass lines and her bouncing around. I might like you better if we slept. You gotta see it because it's comical. And think about it, Romeo Void. Okay? Romeo means like romance, right? Romeo. And void means to be empty. So is she empty of romance? Well, after seeing this video and her voice, I'd be empty of it too. Because she doesn't even sing. She just literally talks through the whole song. There's no singing talent at all in it. And this made MTV. Never Say Never. I might like you better if we slept together. So anyways, those are my 5 songs that I think are the worst ever written for different reasons. You may have others you like, or you may like these songs. That's good for you. That's your opinion. But that's my feelings on them. Again, a parody video here. No offense taken to anybody, especially to the musicians, because like I said, they all at least made it, and I didn't. I'm relegated to playing on my phone keyboards, but I'm fine with that. So it's Rick here. Hope you have a great night on April 28th. God bless, and take care.